Okay, so Mark Tibbs, Anthony Joshua's old trainer, did an interview and he speaks on Anthony Joshua's performance with Usyk. And he basically said in a nutshell that Anthony Joshua went out there, for the most part, looking like a novice. Now, Mark Tibbs was somebody who worked with Anthony Joshua earlier in his career. A lot of people say that even though he's working with Mark Tibbs, he was still working with Rob McCracken. Mark Tibbs would just stand in for him, I guess, at his first professional fight. But in Anthony Joshua's pro debut, all the way up to, I believe, his fight with, I don't know, Dylan White, Mark Tibbs has been the one in the ring with Anthony Joshua. And, you know, the thing is, when Anthony Joshua said what he said, when he started pouring out the excuses of, I'm not a 12-round fighter, I'm not this, I'm 18 stone, and people want me to do combination punches, and you know what I'm saying, I'm heavy, and this stuff is hard, and stuff right here. This alone proves that that was just a crutch for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua knows better. Because if you observe Anthony Joshua when he worked with Mark Tibbs was a better trainer for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, mechanic-wise, as far as IQ-wise, he fought better when he was training with Mark Tibbs. Now, people say that Mark Tibbs is just standing in, but I don't believe that. I believe the majority of his career starting off, I could tell that Mark Tibbs was working with him directly, because there's things about Anthony Joshua that is just different from now than then. And we can go ahead and look at it right now. Now, in this film, watch Anthony Joshua. Look at his mechanics. Look at Anthony Joshua's rhythm. And you want to know what else do you see? Anthony Joshua is throwing combinations. Okay? So this right here proves that he's more than capable of it, and he was doing it. Also, note his rhythm. Anthony Joshua is not stiff like that. He's throwing combination punches. Anthony Joshua is even throwing punches while backing up. When have you ever seen Anthony Joshua do that? When was the last time you seen Anthony Joshua do that? You know what I'm saying? But the proof is in the pudding, and it's right here. Look at his mechanics. Look at the way he's moving. Look at how he's throwing his punches. You know what I'm saying? Look at the punch selection. You know what I'm saying? The rhythm that's in him. Just look at all these things. This shows and proves that he had it. Rob McCracken built him into something that he was not. And the thing that's interesting is you can watch these little clips right here and see things that are no longer present in Anthony Joshua's arsenal. When you look at this clip, what do you see? You see Anthony Joshua have rhythm. You see him bouncing on his toes. You see him pumping a double jab. You even see Anthony Joshua using a feint. You see Anthony Joshua throw punches stepping backwards. And most importantly, Anthony Joshua utilize his left hook way more. A left hook that was not present in the first Usyk fight or even in the second Usyk fight. And had he ended every time he threw his right hand with a left hook, I'm pretty sure that he would have caught Usyk a handful of times, if not clipped him and knocked him out altogether. But his left hook is non-existent no more. So it shows a digression. And the thing about Mark Tibbs, see, Anthony Joshua no longer works for Mark Tibbs. He got rid of him. And for what I hear from, people that I stay connected with over in the UK, it was because Mark Tibbs was talking some shit behind Anthony Joshua's back or whatever and whatnot. But I remember an interview that Anthony Joshua did where he was talking about training with Mark Tibbs. And it's something that he said that stuck out that I know that is absent in his training camp and in his team today. He would talk about how Mark Tibbs would always tease him and tell him, I don't care how good you think you are, you're nowhere near as good as you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? You might think you hot shit, but you got a lot of stuff to work on. You got a lot of holes to fill. And in the interview, and I wish I could find it and pull it up, but in the interview, he was saying how Mark builds him up, but at the same time, Mark kept him humble and always reminded him that he's not that good, that he needs to work on things, that he needs to keep stuff sharp. Don't get cocky. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of holes. You know, that's one thing in the interview that he said Mark Tibbs always did to him. And I call that keeping a fighter grounded. So I could tell once he got rid of Mark Tibbs, that kind of criticism was no longer present. Somebody's trying to get Anthony Joshua to grow as far as a fighter is no longer present. You could tell that by the way they let him go off on that tangent and throw them belts and do all. Somebody should have grabbed him and do something. Nobody in Anthony Joshua's camp is being realistic with him because don't nobody want to jeopardize that Anthony Joshua check. And you know that's what it is because a lot of stuff we look at talking about, you know what, how come nobody has said nothing to him? This is basic stuff. Also, when you look at this old footage of Anthony Joshua, whatever weight he is in these fights, that's Anthony Joshua's fighting weight. This is his fighting weight right here. Okay, you wanna be a weight so he don't gas out, so he don't, whatever weight he was fighting at the beginning of his career, this is the weight that he needs to be at. And to add on top of that, just look at his eyes. Even in his beginning of his career, you can see he had the eye of the tiger. You can see the seriousness. You see the seriousness in him. You can see it in his eyes. You see it. Wasn't no longer there anymore. But I just bring that up and show this to say that people talk about Anthony Joshua's limited, and even Anthony Joshua's talked about himself as limited. And I'm like, no. I remember when you had good rhythm. Your IQ wasn't there, but his sense of a fighter, of knowing what to do when you don't know what to do, you know, his instincts of being a fighter was still high, and it was strong with him. And even though his IQ is not as high as it is right now, he was a better fighter back then. He was. You can clearly see it. Now, most people are like, okay, well, he's fighting against this person and that. That's not what I want you to look at. I want you to look at Anthony Joshua's swag. Look at his mechanics. Look how he throw his punches. Look at him throw them combinations. Okay? So Anthony Joshua, like I said, always has had the tools. And that's another thing that Mark Tibbs in the interview, he said. He said that he's been taught to fight and not use his natural attributes. I don't know who told Anthony Joshua that he needs to be this skilled up heavyweight. That's not you, bro. That's not you. To add on top of that, nor do you need to be some super high IQ heavyweight to be dominant. Everybody knows the basics will carry you when everything else fails. Good basics will carry you. Good basics will win you fights. Good basic boxing, period. And you know Anthony Joshua, as far as how he's being trained, it fell off since Mark Tibbs because we didn't learn to the Andy Ruiz fight that Anthony Joshua didn't even know how to tie a guy up. He just developed that skill in the rematch with Andy Ruiz. But prior to then, Anthony Joshua didn't even know how to tie a guy up. So for the most part, his skills have digressed. They have went backwards since working with Rob McCracken. Now, in the beginning, when people was talking about Rob McCracken, I don't know why Rob McCracken seemed to have a fan base that was just as big as Anthony Joshua. All people were saying was, Rob McCracken is not the guy. And we turned out to be correct while everybody was talking shit about, why are you hating on Rob? It's like, it's not about hating on Rob. It's about what's going to work better for Anthony Joshua. And too bad Anthony Joshua had to find out the hard way. But it's obvious Anthony Joshua has nobody in his camp that's telling him that stuff that God loves. And it's called the truth. People need to tell him the stone cold truth. And the truth of the matter is, people in his camp is too soft on him. He need a dose of reality. And most importantly than that, and most UK fighters are coming up saying it today, you need to bring your ass to the United States. You can't make up for the work you get here nowhere else in the world. I don't care what you want to say. You want good work, You want to see a 1,001 styles? You know what I'm saying? You want to get the grit, the heart. You want all that? You gotta come to America. It's a melting pot. We have too much to offer. We have too many styles to show you. And why not come to the place that has the most dominant champions in boxing history? Common sense tells you that it's something about over there that they know what they're doing. Let me go and see what it is, or soak some of it up and take it back with me. But mechanically, there's nothing wrong with Anthony Joshua. His problem is up top and his training camps. Okay? I don't know what kind of sparring partners he got, and I don't know what kind of trainers he's got. Now, I still like Angel Fernandez. I still think Angel Fernandez is good for Anthony Joshua, but even Angel Fernandez may be too soft for Anthony Joshua. Mark Tibbs told Anthony Joshua what time it was, and in case he ever got a big head, he brought him back down to reality and say, look, we still got to work on stuff. That's the same thing Virgil Hunter did for Andre Ward. And look how dominant Andre Ward was. That's all I got for now. Thumbs up the video, like, comment, subscribe. Bruce Vane, I'm out.